Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Sunday Rise, brought to you by the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. It's the three-man show. It's the big guy KG. It's the gentleman Jack. I'm the Midnight Rider. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition, again, of the Sunday Rise. We got NFL Week 14. We have a college playoff look, and the playoff may be out in time for us to talk about the brackets once they get set up. What I missed? Do we have basketball today? I don't think we have any basketball, but yeah, you're getting NFL, you're getting all football all day today. With that being said, on this 8th day of December in 2024, I'm going to pass the mic to the big man, the big guy, I should say, KG. Take it away, brother.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Sunday Rise. Let's start this thing off right first and foremost. Jack Carr, how you feeling?
Feeling good, baby. Ready to get on. Got some great games on the slate today.
Midnight Rider, how you feeling?
Hey, man, I'm trying to see if at 4 o'clock I can go to Sizzler. That's what I'm trying to see.
Well, we go to Sizzler, I'm riding along too. I mean, normally you in the back seat. I'm rolling in the back seat. Me, you, and Jack. Let's go to Sizzler. We'll pick up BJ on the way. Speaking of which,
Sizzler. We going to Sizzler.
This is a good time to plug In the Passenger Seat. Airs right here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. with the gentleman Jack Carr and his backseat driver, the Midnight Rider. Always remember that, 8 o'clock, baby. So, we got a lot to talk about. So let's get into this college football roundup, man. A lot of conference games. Conference championships was settled last night. A lot of surprises. Let's start with the AAC, All-American Conference. Army beats Tulane 35-14 to win the conference championship. Let me ask you gentlemen a question. I'll start with the gentleman Jack, finish up with the Midnight Rider. Does this put Army in the playoff, number one? Number two, how impressive is that for a service academy that hasn't been known for winning in about 70 years to go 11-1 and win their division?
Oh, it's impressive, very impressive. Any team in any conference to go 11-1 is very impressive. Your question about do they deserve or will they be awarded a spot in the playoff? Answer is no. I just don't see that they're ranked high enough to make the playoffs. So congrats to the Army team and everybody down West Point, or I should say up at West Point. No, I don't see them making college playoffs, and I'm sorry to say it, I don't see them deserving to make the college playoffs. So great season by them. They got one hell of a rushing attack, man. They've only thrown 2 or 3 passes a game. It's nuts to watch this here. It's like going back in time. Today's football, everybody's airing it out. Army just handing it off, man. Yeah, yesterday they threw 2 passes in the whole game. So that's what I got on it. Midnight Ride, how you feel about that?
I called this one. I figured it's what you said, Jack. It's the running game. I thought they were going to be too physical for Tulane. I've seen Tulane be up and down all season, so I just had a hunch that they would get a chance to get into the ball game and really control the ball game. And I think they did that the whole time. It was 21-7, I think, at one point in this ball game. It ended up 35-14, if I remember correctly. I know you just said it, KG.
You're correct.
So it was just one of those things. It worked out where I think Army just had control of the ball game, like you say, Jack. They only throw the ball twice. So if you can't handle them in the trenches, you short, and that's what it was. That in the story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this. I agree with you. What you said, Jack. This is like going back in time because you don't see it anymore. But this reminds me. Their running attack reminds me of a great running attack they had Army at one point in time. And I'm pull my coat and follow me on this one. They had a great running back combo. And I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember. It was during World War II.
Know it.
Nah, I passed on that. My daddy they wasn't even thinking about me yet.
Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside, Glenn Davis and Felix Blanchard. I learned about them when I was about 8 or 9 years old. So I knew about, how great they were, and they were Heisman Trophy winners. I knew, and that was an undefeated Army team, and they called them college football's greatest backfield duo. So that reminds me of when you got great runners like that. When you got two runners that are vicious like that, and they got a couple, but that's what they do out there. Well, up there at Army. So
yeah, Army. This Army program in 2024, they got a couple good running backs, but their quarterback does a lot of the carries. He had the most carries yesterday, 25 for 126 yards. And then that boy, I don't know how to say his name, Kane Udo. That's their stud right there. That boy, he's had some big games this year. Army rushing offenses had to get some big numbers this year. So that's all they do.
Hey, next up, Mountain West Conference. Number 10, Boise State wins over number 20 UNLV 21-7. Guy, Ashton Jeanty, 32 carries, 209 the touchdown. How much did he need to break Barry Sanders' record?
3.5.
If he gets 132 in this playoff game, he would break it.
Mm-hmm.
And Barry Sanders commented on that. He said, "My fans are upset about it." He's like, "I'm not. Records are meant to be broken. I'm right behind you." That's really cool for Barry Sanders to say. And that record has stood for what, 36 years since '88.
Well, Barry Sanders is a class act. He's not going to pout and whine about that. I mean, most of your class acts do say that the records are meant to be broken. It's the truth. And I'm happy to see Barry Sanders a little bit more in the spotlight now. It seems like the Lions have kind of made up with him. He was in the box last week at that game. So Barry Sanders, one of my favorite running backs.
You know what? I said this a couple of years ago. I don't mean to cut you guys off. Speaking of Sanders, and I know it's a crazy idea. I said if the Lions ever make a Super Bowl, I would love to have them activate Barry Sanders for one play. Let him run one play, and that way he gets his ring because he deserves it. But he gets his ring.
You the wildest dude I know, right?
You're gonna have to put him on the staff to get a ring, man. They ain't doing that. Some 60-year-old.
Barry ain't even doing that.
Mm.
Like, think about it. We talking about a guy that in his high school career, he had a chance to break the rushing record, the all-time rushing record, at his high school, and he said, "Nah, coach, I don't want to go back in and let the young guys get the work." During his college career, he had a chance to get like the single game rushing record, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good." I mean, this is a man that doesn't care about records. It's just not in his DNA. It's never been his DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And he's showing you that on every level. And that's why he's so appreciative of this kid. And speaking of this kid is special. Yeah. He might, depending on his 40, he might be a first-round running back.
And
yeah, he will be.
You know what I heard? Just rumor, because we don't know any draft position right now in the NFL. I'm gonna tell you what I heard.
I know what you heard.
I know what you heard.
Going to the Commanders at 21. And I said, wow, y'all already putting Brian Robinson out the pasture? Like, really?
No, but that gives you a home run back.
I give you that. Speaking of
you can because now you got your own version of Sonic and Knuckles, Thump and Grind, whatever you want to call it. And you can use Genty to get you the big splash plays. Like there are a couple plays early in the season that if it's Genty and not Robinson, a couple of those runs are going to the house. They're being house calls, not 20-yard runs. And that's the reason McLaurin was so ready to get rid of Alfred Morris. He liked the yards that he used to get, but he needed the home run. I think he did it the wrong way, but yeah, you got to get the home run. And as long as you have that option, I mean, there's a difference in Philly's offense when you got Barkley who can take it 60 if it's blocked up right. So,
give you that. Speaking of college football and the Commanders, Sean Taylor's younger brother, Gabriel Taylor, has declared for the draft. He's a safety at Rice. He wears number 26.
Why did he do that, man? Isn't he a junior?
I believe he is a junior, but he did it because I think I want to say something happened, but he's declaring for the draft for the 2025 draft. And a lot of Washington fans are like, oh man, we should draft him, put him in 21. And I'm like, okay, you're putting too much on him. Yes, he wants to play here. That's great, but putting him in 21 is putting too much pressure on him.
I'd put him in 3-6 right there, 3-6. That was Sean Taylor's rookie number. If people don't know that.
Yep. But a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, he's not a first round pick." Okay, but I
don't think he's ready.
They got him graded at between 3rd and 5th.
Yeah, and if he stays another year, he might be between 3rd and 2nd. What do you think, Midnight Ride? Have you?
I haven't seen him. But what I said to the comment online, I said if anybody has a good idea what this kid can be, it's the Commanders, because they did take Luke McCaffrey last season. And of course, Luke McCaffrey was at Rice. So if anything, they've seen him on tape.
Got a point.
So next up.
Yes, he is a junior.
Okay.
All right. I got it on my wall.
Iowa State. That's the Big 12, correct?
Yes.
Sure.
Arizona State 45, Iowa State 19 to win the Big 12 championship. This right here, this is a game, but Arizona State came out and they shocked me. I didn't expect them to beat Iowa State like this, but they beat the hell out of them. Jack?
I've been seeing it all year, man. You know, a lot of people don't get to see Arizona State play ball. You know I'm right there, Midnight Rider, because they play ball late. You know, the game's coming on 11 o'clock sometime out here. And a lot of folks ain't going to stay up 11 o'clock to watch a football game. So I've been watching it, and I tell you, it started out, I thought it was going to be close. I think it was 10-7 early, and then but I did think it was going to be close. It was going to be a battle. But I tell you, Arizona State just turned it on, man. And you see that running back they got over there, number 4, Cameron Scott. He is money, dude. He's explosive. As soon as he hits that hole, he's just like Genty. He has home run in him. He's a home run hitter. And small. So I'd like to hear what Midnight Rider saw in that game.
I saw a running back that's going to probably go in the 2nd or 3rd round. Because I think it's mostly because of his height. I think his height is going to be his downfall. I would love to see his 40 time, but I think he's going to be a 2nd or 3rd round guy. And that's not a knock on the kid, because the kid has legs like tree trunks. And he definitely is explosive. He impressed me a whole lot yesterday when I watched that ball game. I had to watch it for gambling purposes. But yeah, I enjoy watching them play. I think Dillingham is the next coaching superstar. And as long as he can keep a good quarterback in the system, I think Arizona State's going to be around and be dangerous for a long time.
Right. Next up, this is a shocker too. Number 2 Texas falls to number 5 Georgia in the SEC championship game, 22-19 in OT. We only had one OT, You go in, it's 16-16 going into OT. Texas gets the ball first, kicks field goal, gets 3. Georgia drives down. Well, they only had to go 25 yards. They drive and they score. Win it on a walk-off. 22-19.
Ain't no shocker.
Thank you.
Really?
I think you said this Thursday.
Ain't no shocker. Go Dogs. I mean, Georgia came in there.
Who's that coming down? I'm sorry.
It was about defensive battle in the beginning. A lot of field goals, field goals boring. But Georgia came through. That shot that Beck took, man, that was vicious. And
unnecessary, man.
Correct. That's where I was getting ready to go with it. To try to throw a Hail Mary at the half. I mean, score was 6-3 at the time. I mean, shit, you got a ball game. Ain't like you trailing by 15, 20 points. So setting him out there for that Hail Mary, and anybody get a chance, man. Look on ESPN, look on YouTube. That hit was vicious, man. I haven't heard the reports about what's wrong. It's got to be his arm. What do you know about it, Midnight Rider?
It's his arm. They haven't gone into detail as what it is, but
Right.
I do love the fact, and this will push this kid on somebody's draft board, is the fact that he came out and took that last snap to hand the ball off to ETN. If you looked at it, he couldn't move his arm. He couldn't move his right arm to save his life. They made sure the play went to the side so he could use his left hand to hand the football off instead of his right hand.
Okay.
But that shows you the grit and the toughness. And the NFL is definitely big on QBs with grit and toughness. I think this game to me was the battle of 2 disappointing QBs. If you watched our show at any point in time, you know I love Quinn Ewers, but he is taking a step back. But I think it's him.
2 steps back.
I think it's his offensive line. I think he's getting more pressure in his face than he got last year. I think the losing of AQ Mitchell and the kid Bond, I think that hurt him. Like, I think his receivers let him down on a weekly basis. So I don't know where I'm going to put them, because I will do at the end of the season a final list of the top 5 QBs. But this ball game didn't surprise anybody, like Jack said. I thought Georgia was the better team. I thought Georgia was going to out-physical them. Texas is not ready for what Georgia brings. And I think it's the thing where we talk about all the time. Not in boxing, but we talk about it on this show because we like to use boxing analogy. Styles make fights. And the style that Georgia plays is tough for them. And like I told y'all, what was the last time they played? When I saw Nick Saban throw those plays up on the screen, that Texas likes, I was just like, they done. Because Georgia's going to eat that up, and now they got to find a play off of that. They got to find their other option. And I didn't think Texas had enough to get to that next step, to find that plan B. So that's why I thought Texas was going to lose all the way. Yeah. I got nervous when the number 14 came in the ball game, but he looks like he's solid too. I think it's Stetson or something like that, whoever the backup quarterback.
Correct.
That kid looked really good to me. I liked him.
Stockton,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he didn't get in the end zone, and he had an interception, but he threw crisp, man, 12-16.
Let me
I don't know if you guys know, the running back, that's a former Clemson running back, current Jaguar running back's little brother, Trevor.
Yeah.
He went to Clemson and
brother.
No,
he transferred from Florida to
Right.
Georgia.
Yeah, I don't. If you say NTN last name, I don't like that running back because I already know what he's going to do. He's going to fall on contact. He's fast, but he falls on first contact.
Two things. You know what's funny? I was a big proponent of Trevor Etienne when he was at Clemson. The year before he came out, I was like, he needs to come out now. He's going to be at least a late first round because nobody's picking a running back at number 1 through 15. But I was like, he's going to be a late first round, early second round pick. And he stayed for that next year. And when he stayed for that next year, I started seeing the flaws in his game where you say he goes down at first contact and it's like the carpet monster got him on a couple of plays. his shoestring got caught in the dirt. So he went down too easy for me. And I was like,
no.
I was on when I say I was on the cat, I was on the cat heavy. And then I was like, yeah, he's not going to do it. And then when he went to the Jaguars and I saw, he couldn't stay healthy. He looked better now. But I hope his brother is way better.
He's not.
Nah.
Second thing.
If all you got to do is change, if you put a white jersey with no insignia on the side, it's the same guy. I swear to God.
Second thing, that hit that I think Stockton took down by the goal line when he was running, he ran up the middle out the pocket. He took that hit. Now, I know what I think as a former defensive player, especially a safety, a hard-hitting safety at that, clean and dirty.
I was cool with it. I think it was more shoulder than anything else.
I agree.
He led shoulder. I mean, you can't lead with your shoulder and your head, you know what I'm saying? And the head is not in the play. But that was all shoulder intent. So I was fine with it. I was more mad that they interviewed the kid after the ball game. He should have been in a tunnel or in a truck somewhere getting attention. That's how I felt personally. Like he got his screws knocked loose. And I know that's, I mean, I've been hit in the back of the head with a baseball, and I've heard bells. And if you got bells ringing in your head, you don't want to have that kid doing interviews.
No, that's a concussion. That's the telltale sign of a concussion.
Yeah.
And I just think he should. Yeah, go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
No, I agree with you. I thought it was a good hit. And as you said, with shoulder pads, it's hard to get the head all the way out of the way. But as long as the head's up and the shoulder pads is what's getting you, that's the way you're taught to tackle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jack, I gotta give you some love because you've been we had the argument about Shedeur Sanders early in the year, and I think he won a quarterback award. And you were right. I never was down on him. I was more down on his offensive line. But I like the way you stuck with him, even though he did have offensive line issues.
I see it. I've seen it. And I think I continue to see it. Heard some crazy rumors today, or it was last night, that his daddy wants him to go play for the Raiders, play for Pierce. I don't know if that'd be a good mix.
It would.
Pierce is going to be there. I don't think Pierce is going to be there.
And they want both of them drafted, man. I'm sorry. Shiloh, isn't this Shiloh the other one?
Yeah.
Shiloh ain't. Everybody's saying Shiloh going to be a Bronny. I don't think he's going to be that.
No. Him going to the Raiders would be pretty decent because I say that because Antonio Pierce, if you fire Antonio Pierce after 1 year, after you gave him a mucked up, cloudy team that he has to try to shape into his own image, if you fire him after 1 year, you're not committed to winning. I'm sorry. And Mark Davis is really, really high on Antonio Pierce. Don't be high on him when he takes over for the shit coach, because he gets the most out of the guys. And then when he's trying to get it going, he had to get rid of Devontae Adams because he was a cancer. You had to cut the cancer out. He didn't, he lost his top running back in Josh Jacobs, so you had to replace him with running back by committee. He hasn't had a quarterback. He had Gardner Minshew, but Gardner Minshew's hurt. If you bring in Shedeur Sanders and you have Shedeur Sanders working with Gardner Minshew,
no, you're not going to do that. That's not smart. That's not a smart combination.
That's a step down from who he's working with now.
So if you bring in, so this is the part, and I'm not trying to discredit what you're saying, KG. Like, this is how I see it with quarterbacks. You don't want to partner him with a Minshew because Minshew is still trying to prove himself. So Minshew's not going to be a good mentor. You want a guy that's comfortable with his position in the league. You know what I'm saying? As your backup. He knows, hey, I might play a couple games. That's the kind of guy you want behind Shedeur Sanders. He's been a starter before. Actually, that might be a good place for a guy like a Daniel Jones, to be honest with you. It's a guy that he has experience. He's had starter opportunities. As long as he's comfortable with being a backup, he can tell you all the things about being in a dysfunctional franchise and he can help them out. So that's how I see it.
Now, but I'm not saying for him to come in and Minshew tutor him to be the starter. No. See, this is what, and to hear Tom Brady say it made me feel so much validation, because these kids are not being mentored when they come out of school. They're not being taught. And with that happening, you're seeing guys flop because you can't see what their weaknesses and their strengths are. So
Right.
does he have weaknesses? Yes. Does he have strengths? Yes. He won the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. They don't just give that to anybody. So what I'm saying is, you bring him in to the Raiders, and we're just using the Raiders as an example. This is no way, shape, or form concrete. So you bring him into the
We're just talking about a rumor that we heard.
right. You bring him into the Raiders. You have Gardner Minshew do like Tyrod Taylor did Baker Mayfield and Kevin Hogan.
That's why I'm telling you, he's not built for that.
But he did it with wasn't he doing that with
No, he was competing with Richardson. This is why I feel like Richardson's is a little bit behind, because he was still trying to prove he got it still. He's still old Eddie Kane coming to the concert all raggedy, talking about nights like this, I wish.
that raindrops would fall.
If you get the reference, you get the reference. But that's what he is. He's old Eddie Kane. So that's why I don't think he's a good person to be the backup and be the mentor for a quarterback. I think he's one of the guys that you put in a place where you need a stopgap and you let people figure it out. Thank you.
All right, let's move on. I get you.
I love that.
We're gonna have to talk about that. Ace,
Time out. The first thing I do is I love it that Jack did it.
Jack
Y'all schooled me well.
Jack felt he knew it was getting ready to happen. This was getting ready.
I still see 2 more games to talk about.
This 2 more games. Slobber knocker number 1, and in my good old JR voice, this was a slobber knocker. The ACC championship, number 8 SMU falls to number 17 Clemson, 34-31, last second field goal. This is a rough one. Jack, what'd you think about this game?
Well, Clemson came out on fire. I thought it was going to be a blowout. I mean, even the announcers, if it would have been a blowout, SMU is out of the conversation. But with the comeback SMU put up and fought all the way to the end to make it a last play game, I think SMU still going to get some cred in the bracket. So that's going to be tricky. And this game here screwed up everything everybody been working for, on the bracket, because you got a lower seed team like Clemson that wins a championship. They wouldn't have been in the bracket if they didn't. So Klubnik came through, had a great first half. He was picking them left and right, but that they made great adjustments. SMU made great adjustments at halftime, curbed that offense a little bit, but they gave the MVP to Cade Klubnik. I think the MVP should have been that boy that ran that kickoff back at the end of the game, that returned the kick. He didn't run it back. Returned it 40, 45-yard line, and one more pass, and Clemson was in range. And that wasn't just a kick, KG. That was a 57-yarder in college. They said Dabo was on the sideline when he sent him in, Dabo Swinney, head coach for Clemson Tigers. And one of his coaches said, "You think he's got the leg for that?" Dabo said, "We're going to find out." So, hey, go Tigers, man. Great victory, great game. My sister-in-law was over there in Charlotte for that game. They were sending us many pictures and a huge celebration. So I thought it was a great ACC championship. Congratulations to SMU for their great season, man. Been that ride. You like that game?
I love this game. this is how we got home, but we'll talk about that later. Only thing I can say on this, I kept I told y'all all week, like, if Clemson wins this, SMU becomes, for lack of a better term, the Florida State of this year. Because I think they may become the victims to Alabama. Because Alabama's schedule is tough. The only problem is they lost to the wrong people. If Alabama loses to South Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia, as opposed to Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, in a bad way, we're not having this conversation. This conversation is automatically Alabama is the better team, and Alabama should be the higher seed. That's why we're flipping and flopping right now. I knew SMU was going to lose because they hadn't faced a team this complete. The problem with these new conferences is they don't have a balanced schedule yet, and there's no really way to balance these schedules because you have so many teams, and you don't know who's going to be good year in and year out. So you can't really adjust schedules on a year-to-year basis. This isn't the Sideline Junkies College Football League, you know what I'm saying, where they got the greatest fictitious college football show, The Gridiron.
When does that show air?
It airs on Saturday mornings. All right, we're going to say Saturday mornings because we've been airing it at a little bit different times lately. But back to the thing at hand, I think the problem is SMU's probably 8, and I think Alabama gets to 11 because of the way things fall out. And it doesn't hurt that Iowa State lost. It doesn't hurt that a couple other teams in the thing lost, and so you don't have teams falling back. And I think Alabama might just fall up enough. They're going to fail up, and I think when you see the rankings, Alabama's 11, SMU's 12. And that's how Alabama gets into the playoff.
Okay. Yeah. No, Alabama had a hard schedule. I think Alabama and Georgia probably had some of the toughest schedules out there this year.
Right.
I guarantee you they top 10. So, I despise Alabama, but I think they deserve a shot at the bracket.
And I just think SMU hasn't played enough people. I mean, even coming back against Clemson, I mean, what's their impressive win? What's the win that makes me think, okay, this team can actually function? Because you're already going to question Boise State being there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the problem I think that the NCAA has is too many people complain about the SEC and the Big Ten, but they are quick to jump behind them if something doesn't go their way. They're quick to cry about it. Oh, they play a tougher schedule. Oh, they play this. Well, you already know. If that's the case, just stop lying to me. Stop peeing on my leg and telling me it's raining.
Agreed.
You want this school in the thing. And I think that's the other problem that SMU has is they want Alabama. They don't want SMU.
Alabama's the sexy pick. SMU is not. SMU is just a team. Alabama's the sexy pick because that's your moneymaker. That's what everybody wants to see because every year during the BCS era, where was it? It was Alabama. That's all it was.
I'll give you even better term. Alabama's the team or the girl that you pick up at 10 p.m. to take home. SMU is the girl you pick up at last call. That's the difference.
I was getting ready to do something very similar to that. Not your way. Not your way. He was talking about Alabama's the sexy chick, and then SMU is the new hot chick, but you don't know her yet. You know,
I don't think SMU is new or hot.
To the conference they are.
Okay.
All right, going over to the Big Ten, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, Oregon. This is slobber knocker number 2. Number 1, Oregon, 45. Number 3, Penn State, 37. Oregon finishes the season 13-0. So you know they're in the playoff. They got a first round bye. I think Oregon's gonna be the number 1 seed.
There's no think they are.
Most definitely.
I mean, if you're smart, they're gonna be the number 1 seed. But now, when you're at the top like that at 13-0, you look down, you can see how far you could potentially fall. So, Jack, what did you think about Notre Dame, Penn State?
Oregon,
Penn State. I was up there on Friday.
Notre Dame wishes they was there.
Damn, how did you play like that?
Don't get me started on Hoyas too. Shit. But anyway, it was a shame. What? KG getting his feelings hurt or something.
Okay.
I caught a straight. Jack was like, "Yeah, Notre Dame. Which day was it? What did Notre Dame do?"
Straight jabs, baby. It's a shame that the two best games of the day, in which yesterday was a great day of football. Yes, I mean, from noon to midnight, baby. It was a great day of college ball yesterday, and that's the way championship weekend should be. They put the two best games at 8 o'clock. God, that my finger was killing me from jumping back and forth. But that Penn State Oregon game, man, the Penn State Oregon game was it looked like Oregon was going to blow Penn State out, and damn, Penn State didn't just struck back in it. Yeah, sorry for them Nittany Lions and my mother-in-law, my father-in-law's own mother. We was cheering for them. Oregon's the best team in the country, period. They showed it. They show it week in, week out. It's a no-brainer, man. You got to catch them on a little bit of an off day or something, dude, because they are, man.
I think if Oregon plays Georgia, there'll be if Beckham are healthy, I think Oregon playing Georgia is a tough out for them. I don't know if Oregon can deal with the physicality, but I like what happened yesterday, because yesterday we witnessed something. We actually witnessed Drew Aller showing up and being the quarterback that we thought Drew Aller was going to be when he came in as a hotshot freshman.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know who he is, he's the quarterback. He's kind of like the savior of Penn State, or was supposed to be the savior of Penn State. Too much pressure on the kid early on. Penn State had more running backs than they had receivers, but this team is. I still, like I said before, I just don't believe in Penn State in big ball games, and I think that's what this was. It was a big ball game. Penn State played in it. I took the other team, and it's still something about Dylan Gabriel I don't like, but I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the country.
Well, I heard something yesterday. Somebody posted on our page after Shedeur won the award for the best quarterback. And people are knocking, saying, "Oh, Dylan Gabriel's the best quarterback." Man, I shot back. Could you imagine Sanders with that Oregon offense? Oh shit, man! It's open closed book, man.
I think Shedeur's 1. I think Dylan's 3 for me. I don't know who's 2 yet.
Dart.
It's still something. It's something about Dart. Dart, KG, you already know where I'm gonna go with this. Dart is like that curl for Lufa. It just don't curl right for me. I think I got Dart 4. I don't know who I'm gonna make 2. It might change throughout the course of the week. But we say this all to say that Tuesday night flight, we'll have Tuesday's the list Tuesday, because we're gonna do our power poll.
Yeah.
And then we'll do our NFL power poll, and then we'll also do a list. So Jack Carr, let's do a battle of lists, QB lists, college QBs, our top 5.
Got it.
Let me ask you guys a question before we get off college football, because something else is posted inside the Sideline Junkies 24/7 group on Facebook, and I posted it, matter of fact, and it was talking about Genty and Sanders as your top candidates for.
You mean Hunter?
Hunter, I'm sorry, Hunter and Genty as your top candidates for Heisman, and Mike
Swaniger.
Yeah, he doesn't believe that. He says Hunter's good, but he believes Genty is better. And I told him, I was like, man, these are the only two that got to be there. Nobody else needs to show up. These are the only two that need to be there. But I do believe.
I think the third person that's there knows he's the third person there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like not to be overly graphic, but he's the. Never mind, I'm not going to go with that analogy. Never mind. Go ahead.
Sanders going to be sitting with his boy. That's what's going to be up. Shador's going to be sitting there with his wide receiver supporting him.
I just really believe that when they go into the Heisman Club, whoever wins the Heisman, the other one's going to win the Maxwell Award. Normally, the Heisman and the Maxwell Award go hand in hand. You win the Maxwell, you win the Heisman. But I think if Travis Hunter wins the Heisman, Gentry's going to win the Maxwell Award. And it's a list of awards that, that come out for college football. And I love award season because I playing a lot of college football back in the day. I knew all the awards, so I knew all the names. I'm a little rusty on them, but I know for a fact Travis Hunter won in 2023. He won the Paul Hornung Award, which is the most versatile. He's going to win that again this year, no doubt, because he's playing both sides of the ball excellent. One of them are going to win the Maxwell Award. I don't know who, and I don't know if have you ever. I can't think of it, but I know you've had co-Heisman winners.
No, you haven't.
We have.
No,
we have.
The Heisman has to be the Heisman.
Yeah.
I mean, the bad part about the Heisman since about 93, it doesn't hold the same. No, maybe 94. It doesn't hold the same weight that it once did. Because if you went and won the Heisman, you were the best college player. You were top 5 pick. I thought that was the.
I know you're going with this, KG, but I think the Heisman is just the best college player. But that's the thing; it's the best college player. Like it doesn't mean you're the best NFL prospect. Those are two different. You're walking two different lines in that scenario.
But if I'm the best college player in the college draft, doesn't that make me the best player in college?
The best player in college. But when you project out, there's a difference projecting you out.
What talent's needed? There's several other options that would make him possibly not a number one.
I think it's Ty Detmer. Ty Detmer is one of the better examples of a person that's in the Heisman hunt. I can't remember if he won the Heisman or not, but he didn't translate.
I got a perfect sample. Charlie Ward. Right. He won the Heisman and played basketball.
But you know why he went to play basketball? Because they were trying to switch him to defensive back. They didn't want him to play quarterback. And he said, if I'm not drafted as a quarterback, I'm not playing.
Well, he wasn't projected to be a high draft pick.
The Oklahoma kid, Jason White. I think he won a Heisman or something like that.
Yeah.
Jason White?
Yeah. From a kid out of Oklahoma. He had bad knees, though. He went to Kansas City. He had bad knees. But Ty Detmer, you say Ty Detmer. Ty Detmer should have never won that Heisman in 90. I'm not going to get into it, but he beat out the Rocket. He should have never beat out the Rocket. Everybody knows that. That's why his career was. He should have never beat out the Rocket. But Gino Torretta was my eye-opener in 92 because I always thought Gino Torretta at Miami was a pretty damn good quarterback. And then for him to fall so far in the draft and not even get a chance to really play, and I'm like, wait, this dude lit up the daggone, he lit everything up. What are we doing here? And that's when I was like, okay, the Heisman may not be what it used to be.
It's the person that wins it and their attributes. Like the award has its own significance, and that significance is in college. When it comes to your NFL evaluations, we're talking about something totally different.
That boy White didn't win no Heisman. Ain't no way.
He won it in 2003.
He went undrafted. I ain't never heard of a Heisman Trophy winner going undrafted.
That's what we're talking about, Jack, because he didn't have the arm for it.
So you telling me he did win the Heisman?
Huh?
You're telling me he did win the Heisman?
Yeah, because he was in that Oklahoma offense.
Mm-hmm.
If you double check it, because I might be wrong. There are times that the human Google can be wrong. But
you're right.
But he had no translatable NFL skills. when he won the award, I didn't even understand
right.
how he won the award, but
Won
okay.
in 03. He was a runner-up in 02, and he won it in 03. I didn't know. I didn't
Yeah.
remember that.
But
I mean, yeah,
it used to be if you're a quarterback and you win the Heisman, you're drafted in the top 5. Last year, Jaden Daniels, second. Year before that, Caleb Williams, who went first in last year's draft. Bryce Young went first. Joe Burrow went first. Kyler Murray went first. Baker Mayfield went first. That's 3 Heisman winners that went first. Lamar Jackson in 2016, we know why he didn't go first because everybody thought that he was just not this guy who could play quarterback. And
His passing wasn't as crisp at that time, and it's still not the best, but it's better.
it's better. Jameis Winston.
I think he drafted. I'm sorry, KG, say what you just said. I apologize. I was talking over you.
I'm sorry. Jameis Winston went first. Marcus Mariota went second. RG3 went third. Johnny Manziel dropped. Cam Newton first. Sam Bradford first. We know why Tim Tebow dropped. We know why Troy Smith dropped. And Troy Smith never got a chance in NFL. He should have, but I'm not going to get into that.
He got a chance. He played with
Troy Smith, Ohio State?
Yeah.
He wasn't an NFL quarterback.
Bruh.
Dog, every time I watch him play, you know what I said to him? I said, get you a nice pair of loafers and be ready for your next job.
Bruh. But so Eric Crouch wasn't an NFL quarterback either.
Hell to the no. I thought he was a great receiver to begin
Nebraska with. To Cleveland, no.
Okay, let me ask this question, then we'll move on and we'll get into the nickel. I have to ask this question. If Tommy Frazier didn't have the blood clots in his knee, would he have been a sustainable, good to great NFL quarterback?
The way they were grading quarterbacks at that point,
not at that time. Not in that era of football. No. It wasn't. He was before his time. Tommy Frazier was a runner before there was runners. I mean, you just had Randall at that time that was running, I believe.
Exactly.
And then Vic came along. It wasn't 6-7 running quarterbacks in the league at the time.
Cordell came along and bridged the gap to get you to Michael Vick. Mm-hmm. I think Randall got you. I think Doug got you to Randall. Actually, hold on. I'm going to say it backwards. Doug got you to Warren. Warren got you.
But you want to go
and Warren at the same time. Then you move forward from there. That's kind of how that thing went.
Yeah, you can even go earlier than that, back to Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah.
He was a great running quarterback.
Oh, my goodness. I've heard stories about people saying, today's going to be the day I'm going to do something bad to him, and they never could catch him.
Mm-hmm. Good. And he could sling it, too.
Yeah. Let's jump off into the nickel. We talked about the Raiders earlier. Antonio Pierce and the Raiders take on the Buccaneers. Buccaneers 6. What's that look for midnight, right? What's that look for?
I'm still trying to figure out how this game makes the nickel, but
I was thinking the same thing, but I looked at their records.
Maybe this might be a KG sweetheart deal. He wants to talk about his boy AP.
It's because Baker Mayfield on my fantasy squad.
Okay. Hey, did you win last week?
Oh man, you lucky.
Just so you know, I beat that guy in fantasy, the big guy KG. I beat that guy in fantasy too. So I'm just letting you know.
I beat that guy.
Oh,
bad.
That's okay. But guess what? It don't mean a thing if you ain't got that ring.
You ain't got that go-go swing, baby. Do-wop. Don't make me get started on some Chuck now. I get on a hollow stump. Excuse me, Dougie.
The Raiders Buccaneers 6.5 point favorites. Over under is 46.5. I picked this game because it was just a throwaway game. But Jack Carr, what you got?
Tampa Bay gonna blow the Raiders out. Blow them out. And this one here, man, I didn't look at the times on all these damn games. Are all these games Sunday games, fellas? Y'all froze?
No, I don't think it's no Monday game. I think this is all Sunday. I'll double check. But I think everything's today.
Yeah. I've been good on them One of them Thursday night games, man. I've been picking them pretty good. I think I'm 3 for 3 on Thursday night. Vegas 2-10, Tampa Bay 6-6. Tampa Bay is fighting to try to keep tight. Their division is tight with records all pretty close. So I see Tampa Bay beating the Raiders, and I'm serious. I think they're going to beat them big. Baker Mayfield 3 touchdowns, 300 plus. So that's all I'm gonna go to into that. Tampa Bay gonna beat Vegas. I take what's the numbers? I take Tampa Bay in the under. Vegas ain't gonna put up enough points for them to be able to hit that over, in my opinion. So that's what I got. What you got, Midnight Rider?
I got Vegas losing this very badly because I think their quarterback is the dude from Purdue.
I don't even know who it is.
I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now, but I know when I see it, I'll know it. But I got the Bucks winning this. I think it's gonna be a laugher. I think Mike Evans takes another step. I think this is the ball game he needs to take that step to get him to 1,000 yards for the 12th straight season. Like I see him going for 200. And you know what? Blue Magic. Blue Magic. Mike Evans 200 today.
Did I hear Blue Magic?
Blue Magic.
Ooh.
And what's the Blue Magic you got going on there, son?
Mike Evans for 200 yards receiving.
Okay, that's nice. And it's more than possible. So you're taking Tampa Bay and the over.
Yeah, and the over. Because I think Tampa Bay's going to do the heavy lifting. Like, I see this as a 35-13 type of ball game.
And Blue Magic, Evans, 2 TD.
No, 200 yards.
Oh, 200 yards. That's good, too. All right, I got you. Good bet.
I'm going to call this one Buccaneers. Give me the Buccaneers. Give me the under. And I think the Buccaneers will cover. I think it'll be a 24-13 deal. Buccaneers. Yeah, that's only 37. So yeah. That covers. Yeah. Next up, the Chargers versus the Chiefs. Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites. Over under is 42.5. I do have a Blue Magic guarantee for this game, but I'll save that for when it's my go. Jack, take it away.
Well, I've got AFC West battle. You know, Chargers lucky they're not in Kansas City because it's a little chilly over that way. Kansas City 11-1, Chargers 8-4. Chargers been playing some good ball, but that Kansas City defense been stepping up. I believe both of these defenses are in the top 10-12, I believe. But it's time for Kansas City get another loss, I think. They've been scraping through all season, finding ways to win. Nothing wrong with that now. Don't be getting on me. If a team can find a way to win, that's awesome. But shit, I think 9 of their 11 wins have been by one score. So I'm going to take the Chargers to upset the Kansas City Chiefs today. And they're going to be pestering Pat Mahomes, that Chargers front. So Chargers, let's go over.
Chargers, let's go. Let's go.
It's going to be like 24-23, 24-20. You got to keep it tight because that's how the Chiefs roll. So Chargers to beat the 11-1 Chiefs today. That's my call. Take it to the bank, Midnight Rider.
Take it to the bank. Well, you know what? You might as well do this like the passenger seat because I'm in the back seat. Or actually, since we don't have a guest, I'll be in the front seat, seat myself. Yeah. But I'm with you.
We're just cruising. We're just cruising.
Yeah, I think this is the Chargers win. I think the only thing is, because the Chargers will be plus 3.5. So yeah, give me the Chargers, the plus 3.5, and give me the 42.5 over. And we're gonna take this money. We're gonna go dancing to the bank, baby. I think the Chiefs have been dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight for too long, and sometimes it comes to an end. And I think this is the week. And I think this is when the Chargers make themselves a viable competitor in the AFC playoffs. I think they make themselves a name. They become a candidate that they can possibly be one of the teams that actually knocks off the Chiefs in the playoffs to make it to the Super Bowl.
Okay. So you taking, what are you taking here?
I'm taking the Chargers. So of course they're plus 3.5. So I'm taking that number. And then I'm taking the 42.5 over.
Bingo. Where you at, KG?
I'm gonna be honest.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, you can't lie to us because I mean we only know what you're gonna tell us.
The Chiefs are a good team, but they play with fire too much. They really do. Now, as far as the Chargers go, Dan Fouts is not walking through that door. Johnny Unitas is not walking through that door. Lance Allworth is not walking through that door. Ryan Leaf is not walking through that door. Neither is Drew Brees.
Philip Rivers. If he does, you're going to kick him out.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to tell him to turn around and get the hell out. Yeah. But I say that to say, out of all of those legends in a terrible bus, they're not going to be needed today. I'm going to ride with the Midnight Rider and the gentleman Jack Carr. I'm going to hop in the back seat, and I'm going to roll with you guys on this one. I think the Chiefs lose this one today, but they're going to lose, and it's going to be under a cloud of controversy.
Oh, Lord.
But give it to me. Chargers, 38. The Chiefs, 34. So give me the over and give me the plus 3.5. That's my Blue Magic guarantee. It'll be under controversy. Because, like I said, the Chiefs...
Wait. Hold on. So you're saying that you're guaranteeing controversy?
I'm guaranteeing controversy. Blue Magic. Write it down. Take a picture.
Okay.
Guys, man. Two
I don't know how we do that, but okay.
2 Blue Magics in one day.
I don't feel good. Don't get me wrong. The Chiefs are a good team. They're a really good team. They got a great coaching staff. Andy Reid, if he hadn't already, before he came to Kansas City, I thought he had a Hall of Fame resume. Because of what he did in Philadelphia. And he did that with a good running game, a borderline Hall of Fame quarterback, and no receivers. Now you go to Kansas City and you become a juggernaut with a Hall of Fame quarterback, a slew of running backs, and you taking receivers that flame out elsewhere and turn them into absolute dogs. If that's not Hall of Fame worthy. And the day that Andy Reid goes in the Hall of Fame, I think I'll make the trip up there. I hope you guys will roll with me. We got to buy the guy a burger. We got to sit down and have a burger with him. Definitely.
That'd be awesome.
Don't shake your head, Midnight Rider. Out of respect. But the Chiefs are going to get burnt today. Just my thought. Next up, Falcons versus Vikings. Another 6.5 point game. Vikings 6.5 point favorites. 46.5 is the over under. Oh, and to let you all know, all lines are brought to you by our unofficial partner in FanDuel. You want to gamble? Hit up FanDuel, baby. We don't get paid for this. We just like FanDuel. So, Jack, take it away.
Oh, man. Atlanta really, really struggling, man. I thought Atlanta would be much better record than they have right now. They're just sitting on the 500 step, 6-6. So, and Minnesota's been hot, 10-2. I'd really like to see some Kirk Cousins get right, especially against his former team. I don't think it's going to happen. Minnesota's defense is stingy as hell. So Minnesota. And Minnesota, they're gonna beat them outright. And we're gonna cover the over on this one too. Minnesota gonna win outright, and they're gonna score 50 points in this game. So your turn, Runner.
I think we might see Michael Penix today.
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna take the Vikings to win. I think we hit the under, but it's not going to be because of the Vikings. It's going to be because the Falcons don't hold their weight up. This offense hasn't scored a receiving touchdown in 4 weeks. I don't think they are dominant enough in the run game where you get the great production from Bijan Robinson and Algier. So I see this as a week where the Falcons struggle again and continue to struggle. And the Vikings win this ball game. I think the Vikings cover because I see this as like a 24-10 ball game. So that's why we hit the under.
Okay.
Jack, you made a statement and it scared me. You said you would think that Kirk Cousins would show out against his former team. I hope he does show out today because when he comes to DC, I don't want him showing out against his former team. So that statement alone scared the you know what out of me. But I don't put the faults of Atlanta on Kirk solely. I think they're trying to feel each other out. I think this is a feeling out process. And I think, you see flashes, but this is another team that had to get rid of guys that weren't cutting it. What has Drake London done this year? Bijan Robinson ain't been the dog that we know he could be this year. It's so much that goes with that. So give me the Vikings in this one. And I think this will be a laugher. I think I'll go 41-16 Vikings. Give me the over and the Vikings cover.
Got you.
Next up, NFC West division matchup. Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Cardinals are 2.5-point favorites. Houseway. Over under is 44.5. Gentleman Jack, take it away.
Seahawks 7-5. Arizona 6-6. NFC West. This is a battle, I believe, for first place. Mm-hmm. So, man, Seattle's got that running back, Walker. He out, I believe. So
he is.
Next man up, Gino.
Zach Charbonnet.
Midnight Riders boy. And Gino's had a great season so far. He's really gone by far what gone past my expectations for him. He's doing great, but Kyler Murray and Arizona Cardinals with James Conner and rookie wide out, Harrison out there, and don't they got what's their number one guy? Jibba?
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
And
then you got Metcalf.
Yeah, DK. I'm gonna go Arizona. I think they're gonna explode today for some offense. Look for James Conner get 2 touchdowns today. Something I would put in the book. So Arizona doing what it takes, just doing what it takes to beat Seattle, and I'll take the under.
I like what you're cooking with, Jack, but I think it's gonna be the other side of it. I think Arizona is going to continue to put deposits in the bank. And I think today's game is part of the deposits. I think Arizona wins this ball game. I think they cover the 2.5 because they'll win by a field goal late. And I think this is going to hit the over. So I see this as a 27-24 type of ball game. I think Kyler Murray goes for 300. I think Connor gets a touchdown. I don't know if he gets 2. And actually, I think I bet that too. Go ahead, KG, because now I got to look and see what I did.
Well, the gentleman spoke.
Well,
Like, yeah,
I think it's going to be my kind of shootout.
Pew pew.
Yeah, this is all. This ain't no heavy artillery. This ain't no heavy guns. This ain't no 50 cal. This is Saturday night special shooting at each other.
I can see that.
17-14. And I'll give you James Conner 2 touchdowns. But Jackson Smith-Njigba scores a touchdown late to make it 17-14. And Arizona has no answer.
Oh, I love the way you guys are talking. Let's go. Let's go.
This week's on.
That's in the parlay. I like this. Oh, y'all done covered both 2 legs of a parlay for me at 4:00.
Next up in our final game, the Rams versus the Bills. Bills coming off an impressive win last week. Bills are 3.5-point favorites. Over under is 49.5. Gentleman Jack, take it away.
Buffalo is. They're playing dynamite. The defense is fine. Allen, it's just looking like, too much for the Rams. I don't see the 6-6 Rams giving Buffalo any go here neither. I think this game's going to be kind of like the Chiefs. No, I'm sorry. Kind of like the Minnesota-Atlanta game. I think it's going to be a walk in the park. And Buffalo is going to beat the Rams. I mean, I ain't got no players to put up there, no stats to put up there, because just looking at it, I ain't got to do all that. Buffalo's going to beat the Rams. They're going to beat the Rams. I don't think they're going to hit the over because the Rams ain't going to put enough up. So I take Buffalo on the under. Buffalo's going to win, man.
I take Buffalo on the over because Buffalo has been so explosive that even if the Rams don't do their portion, the Bills will do enough to get us there. What's that song? Take me to another place. Take me to a higher land.
Possible.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that theory. So I think that's how we get to that number, is Buffalo carrying the weight. So give me the Bills. I'll take the 3.5, and I'll take the over 49.5. KG.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the Bills in this one, and I'll take the 3.5. I'm just going to take the under the 49.5, and I think the Bills are going to do heavy lifting, but the Rams are going to be right there for a little bit, and then they'll fade down the stretch. But give me the Bills in this one, 28-17.
Wait, hold on. If the math is mathing, you're good. Oh, good job, KG. KG getting the math right.
Oh, man. Next up. What y'all eating today so we can get out of here?
Oh, man. I'm actually, it's funny you even asked that because I'm on the app right now. I'm on DoorDash because something wrong with the oven. I'm going to Silvestre. And I'm getting the they do a chicken and steak fajita.
Yes, extra chicken and steak.
Wait, they put the fajitas on the side.
Yeah,
and I get rice and French fries.
Yes,
and I get extra sauce.
Yes,
and it's a party.
Sounds like a party.
I would suggest you get a burrito instead.
I like burritos.
Get a burritos. I'm telling you, get a chicken and steak burrito with rice in it, put some lettuce in it, get some extra sour cream on the side, black beans. When I tell
you gotta put some hot sauce on your burrito, baby.
Oh,
hot sauce on my burrito, baby.
Make sure you get mild and hot sauce. I'm telling you, that burrito is about big as an old school brick.
I like that.
We will take into your suggestion, but we will let you know that we're going with the fajitas.
Yes.
So for the game today, I'm gonna be eating a little bit of pit beef that I was able to wrap up and bring home from the Christmas party I was invited to by the Mulch Man. Mulch Man out there at Chesapeake Landscape Materials, 9217 Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard, Pasadena, Maryland. Man, they had a great Christmas party the other day. Next year, I'll be sure to have you fellas come out there with me, man. We're going to be possibly partnering with them. So hopefully this is the start of a beautiful relationship with Chesapeake Landscape Materials, 9217 Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard, Pasadena, Maryland. And then after I get that pit beef for my game, my lovely wife informed me this morning she making stuffed peppers, baby. Ooh, I love stuffed peppers. I like the yellow ones the best, the yellow ones and the orange ones. So we have stuffed peppers. It's got some onions in there too, Midnight Rider.
I know that's right.
Onions in their ground beef. I think it might be beef and sausage she puts in them. That's money. So that's what I'm getting down. I usually don't have the plan, but I got the plan today. Yes, sir.
So official order is chicken and steak fajitas with extra chicken.
No burrito.
No burrito.
You like some fajitas, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I know. That's the fajitas.
Chicken parm.
I ain't had it in a minute. I've been 2 weeks.
It's coming. It's coming. For us over here, my wife, when I say she came through, it was like a 2-minute drive. And we're trying to figure out what we're going to do. And all of a sudden, she settles the crowd down with the snow falling. She comes up to the line. She looks over the defense. She starts marching downfield. First, what she do? She looks. She hits Raymond Berry on the down and out, 17 yards. She hits John Mackey in the middle, 22 yards. Then we get in the field goal range. She say that's not enough. She hit Jimmy Orr, 45 yards for the touchdown. So we are having cornbread and chili and triple fudge chocolate cake.
Oh, Miss Lisa is the MVP.
She wins the game with that. She drove us downfield. She said, "Don't worry about it. I got it."
Yes.
No, baby, you can't. You're hurt. She's like, "I ain't hurt." I said, "But you bleed." She said, "Motherfucker, I ain't got time to bleed. I got chili to make." She showed me how strong she was. And she put that chili on, man. When I tell you she put her foot in it, she put her foot in it. And
Did she identify the mic? Did she identify the mic?
Oh, of course.
Did she call Omaha?
No, she didn't have to call Omaha. She was like, "I'm telling you what I'm doing, and you're still not gonna stop it."
Okay.
Like when I tell you, she's absolutely, positively on fire, and she killed it. Let me go tell her. When I tell you, my wife killed that chili. She drove us downfield and she threw the touchdown and scored with that chili. Thank you, Lovey.
What's the Jameis Winston thing?
What, she ate her W? She ate her W.
No, the horses are ready. I forgot what he said next. I put it in the chat though. We gotta get that in the mix.
Midnight Rider, I gotta change the subject a little bit, but since we're toward the end of the show here, I don't think it matters. I come across something this past week that I thought might be pretty cool to you. Can you see what I got?
Yeah. All right. Who is that?
That's my man. God rest him. My man Ernie Martineau. I think he was 76, maybe class of 76. He's 10 years older than me was. And I found this Carol. I keep it in my sports room. He wasn't no All-American or nothing. He was too small. But I thought this photograph was awesome.
Yeah, so, they bring the green and gold, baby.
Yeah, I figured you get a crack out of the green and gold Carolines.
Yes, sir. All the time, baby.
And that brings up what I'm going to say next. So, In the Passenger Seat, as everybody knows, airs Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Interview show is awesome. We have a blast. And this week's guest is going to be former Maryland Terp, former Carroll Lion, Mr. Damon Francella will be showing up on Wednesday. I look forward to chopping it up with him, and I think you're going to hit it off with him there, Midnight Rider.
We got to give a shout out to our guy from last week, our baseball coach.
Shout out to Ray Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Shout out to all our interviews so far, man. I think we're probably a little bit more than 8 shows in.
7 or 8, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Again, I was told there'd be no math. And the way KG do math, we probably gonna show 12. So
yeah, but if any of you viewers out here that are watching this show, and you know, we in the passenger seat does talk sports, but it's also we talk a little bit about life and what a person's going through or what a person has done. It's really cool. Every week it touches different areas every interview we do. So I'm really having a good time doing that with you, Midnight Rider. I wouldn't take anybody else in the back seat but you.
Hey man, you ain't got no choice, baby. Sometimes you gotta ride with the best, baby. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. But no, honestly, dog, I say the same thing because somebody asked me the other day, like, how do y'all make it? Like, how do you know what to do and when to go? And I was like, yo, it's just like we have a chemistry, and then we talk it out most time in our pre-show. And then, you know, you'll see certain things, and I won't tell people what they see, how we communicate, because we're baseball guys, and then it makes it flow easily.
Mm-hmm. And maybe after I drop that cat off on Wednesday, I'll let you jump up front, and we'll go over to PG Plaza and boom it up a little bit, try to pick up some honeys, all right?
Well, they got a nice little joint over there in PG Plaza now called, I think it's the Miller Ale House. That's a nice little spot.
There's restaurants all over that place. I was there about 6 months ago. I didn't even recognize it, man.
Yeah,
it's got
totally
restaurants in the parking lot now, and
yeah,
storefronts on the front of the mall. There's a little seafood joint, like Louisiana seafood joint there. It looked good, man. I had to go in there because the carryout I got from the food court didn't give me a goddamn fork. So I was parked in front of that seafood place, and I walked in there just to check it out. It smelled good. And they just put paper on your table and dump the seafood out, man. So if I lived around that way, I'm sure I would have already checked it out. And I can't remember the name of it, but I think it's got Louisiana in it.
Okay. So it's probably one of them seafood boil places.
Yeah, it's right in the front of the center of the strip, man.
Is it what is that name? I can't think of the name of the place. I see the I can see the signage out front. I just can't see the name of it. Oh man! All right.
But I was surprised to see what PG Plaza is. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just not what it was when I grew up around there, or when I even lived around there.
Who you telling?
They built restaurants in the parking lot. I didn't go around back by apartments back there. I didn't go around back there. That's where my dentist used to be. My dentist used to be in the back of PG Plaza. And it's crazy because I got a story. I was young, 12, 13. My mama got me in there. And I don't think it was just something stupid like teeth cleaning. But you know how a kid, man, I'm still scared of the dentist. What am I saying, a kid? And all of a sudden, paramedics come in there with the stretcher and all this. I'm like, whoa. And then they roll the cat out with the blanket over their head. Cat died in that dentist's office while I was there. You need an appointment? Nah, I'm good. That was my last time going to that dentist, man.
That'd be my last time at a dentist's office, period.
Oh, it definitely messed me up as a 11, 12, 13-year-old kid. I was blown, dude. And yeah, many memories of PG Plaza. We used to ride bikes and skateboards in the back. Used to holler at some little Spanish girls up in them apartments. Many memories of PG Plaza.
See, Jack, you speaking my language because that was my spot, man. That's where, when I was a kid, my godmother used to take me up there on Saturdays, and we would go to GC Murphy. She would go in there and get her curtains.
Get a pretzel and fountain soda.
No, she would take me to Hot Shops or Bob Big Boy because Bob Big Boy in the parking lot. That was the only thing. And that Bob Big Boy turned into They built the Sizzler later.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Bob
my
Big,
grandma used to take me there.
yeah. We would go there for burgers and fries and the chocolate milkshake. And then we would go to
Correct.
shops when she wanted a cup of coffee or something that different. And
Correct.
I did all my school shopping there and at the Montgomery Ward and Capitol
Monkey
Plaza.
Wards. You got to go to Monkey Wards. That was up at Capitol Plaza, though.
Yeah. So, because I lived around the Capitol Plaza, so it was easier.
Yeah, yeah. I used to get down over at Beltway Plaza, too, and book the girls.
Now, see, I used to do that when I was an adult. That's why I was at Beltway Plaza, Three Brothers and movie theater and an arcade.
Yeah, we got more up there when we was driving.
But
once we started driving.
I lived in PG Plaza. Like I would go in there. It's called the mall at Prince George's now, but it's still PG Plaza in my book. I would go in there, would go straight to Foot Action. And I walk in there and I go to the wall. I need that in a size 13.
Yes,
black.
Sir.
And I get it. And then I leave from there, go to the food court, and they had before it was GameStop. It was Electronic Boutique. And I would go in there and pick me up a game, got my shoes, got my game, head on out to the food court, grab me something to eat, go back and get on that Green Line train and go home, man.
Yes, sir. I was on the Purple Line from Riverdale up to there. And sometimes we catch that Purple Line from PG Plaza down to New Carrollton and go to New Carrollton Mall for a little while. Yeah, that was fun hanging out. You know, that's where you socialize.
You old enough to remember 99-cent movie in Riverdale, ain't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Saw Jaws there. First time it was in like Dolby Sound or something. It wasn't called surround sound or something. But yeah, I saw Jaws there. That was some scary shit. Dolby surround sound. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember 99-cent theater. I was upset when they closed down.
You ain't the only one.
Because we still went there from when I moved away. But yeah, that whole area has changed. I mean, things I never thought would change in that area have changed. I mean, first of all, we got the Metro line coming over East-West Highway. That's 410 for some folks that don't know. They got big concrete pillars on the side of 410 now, ready for the Metro to run up. I mean, yeah, it's going to help a lot of people with transportation. But God, it just ugly. It's a beautiful city right now. It just makes a nice looking little city look ugly.
Yep.
And the church, St. Bernard's Church, has changed tremendously. I want to say they renamed it, dude. The furniture store is now a Guatemalan grocery store. The Giant up on the hill from the theater, nothing is in English. It's crazy.
Well, shoot. You know, have you been past Williamsburg lately?
Nah, I hear they're doing a lot of construction. I've seen pictures.
Yeah, they doing back on what used to be the football field. That's where the new school's going to be, and they're closing down. They done took the temporaries down out front of an old school, and I mean we were in temporaries back in '92 when I started going there, and they had temporaries all the way up until like last year, and I'm like, dang.
But the number of kids just grew, and the school wasn't big enough to accommodate them, and that's the way it was when I was at Riverdale Elementary School in 75, I think. It was 76 because we had the bicentennial parade right down Riverdale Road. That was banging. Remember it like yesterday. So it must have been after the 76 school year, they sent us to New Carrollton schools. They sent us to New Carrollton Elementary and they sent us to Margaret Brent Elementary. What's up?
So this is what I've gotten from Fox College Football as of 12:35. Seed 9 is Tennessee, 8 is Ohio State.
Did you hear me in the middle of a story?
Dude, this is more important than your story. This is breaking college football bracket.
You could have waited.
Finish the story, Jack. Damn.
You know, I forgot. No, I forgot what I was talking about.
I'm tired of you. Yo. I'm tired of you. Ooh.
I can't believe you.
12 is Clemson. 5 is Texas. Indiana's 10. Notre Dame is 7. SMU is 11. Penn State is 6. The 4 teams with the bye is Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, and Arizona State. That's
So
what we had.
who's playing each other first round?
Wait. What's the 14 with the bye again?
So Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, Arizona State have the bye.
Okay.
You see a bye?
Huh?
Yeah, I guess they couldn't give Clemson a bye. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're the 5th ranked champion. Again, it's Tennessee versus Ohio State. The winner of that plays Oregon. Texas versus Clemson. The winner of that plays Arizona State.
Why Texas Clemson? I
Because
thought it
they're
was
5-12.
I thought it was gonna be Clemson Notre Dame.
Notre Dame plays Indiana. This is the 7-10 matchup. Winner of that plays Georgia. SMU plays Penn State. That's 11-6. The winner of that plays Boise State.
Ooh, I think Penn State gonna bury SMU.
I think
Penn State's one of the weaker teams in the playoff.
I think Penn State gets to the semis.
Part is Notre Dame.
Who would they play if they beat Boise?
I think Notre Dame lose a valiant effort against Georgia in the next round.
Oh, no doubt.
I think they beat Indiana, but it's going to be close.
And that's in Notre Dame Stadium in the shadow of Touchdown Jesus.
Right. The higher seed is the home team.
Yes, indeed.
So Tennessee goes to Ohio State. Clemson goes to Texas. SMU goes to Happy Valley. And Indiana goes to Notre Dame.
All right. Well, we need to jump out of here, fellas. We coming up on that 1:30 mark. And the boss is going to really be upset about this. So,
oh, yes, he is. I saw that 20 minutes ago.
So, for the gentleman Jack, the Midnight Ride, I'm the big guy, KG. Can't say we don't do no overtime because it got good today. So, we had to do a little overtime. Didn't want to go home today. We going home. See y'all on Tuesday for the Tuesday night flight. And don't forget, we also do a show on Thursday, which is the Thursday night throwdown, as well as
it's the Thursday night throwdown. Yeah.
And we also have the Saturday night WrestleManiacs. So if you haven't checked out Saturday night WrestleManiacs from last night, please go back and check that out. That should be airing again today or so. But until then, we are the Sideline Junkies, and we are out of here.
Holla.